What if the way you handle your toddler's supermarket meltdown today is silently programming how they'll handle workplace rejection decades from now? Think about it. The words you choose. The boundaries you set. The emotional support you provide, or withhold. Science tells us these seemingly small parenting moments are actually writing your child's future story. Every parent leaves fingerprints on their child's developing brain. Research spanning generations reveals that most of us fall somewhere within 5 distinct parenting approaches, each carrying its own psychological signature that can follow children well into adulthood. Today, we're uncovering these 5 parenting styles. Not just with clinical definitions, but through real stories, breakthrough research, and questions that might change how you parent. Because parenting isn't just about raising well-behaved kids. It's about developing tomorrow's adults. The authoritarian parent, because I said so. 8-year-old Lena lives in a home where order reigns supreme. Beds made every morning. Homework before play. Speaking only when spoken to. Her parents love her deeply, but believe love is best expressed through structure, discipline, and clear expectations. When Lena expresses frustration, she's told to control herself. When she questions a rule, she loses privileges. When she makes a mistake, consequences follow swiftly. Teachers praise Lena for her politeness and compliance. But beneath this picture-perfect exterior lives a child drowning in anxiety. She never raises her hand in class. She avoids taking risks. The fear of failure has become her constant companion. This is classic authoritarian parenting, high control with low emotional responsiveness. Pioneering psychologist Diana Baumrind discovered these children often grow into externally successful adults, good grades, impressive careers, rule-following citizens. But at what cost? Many struggle with social anxiety, lack internal motivation, and make decisions based on what others expect rather than their own desires. Authoritarian parenting creates excellent followers. But in a world that increasingly rewards innovation, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence, these children often find themselves with achievements they never truly wanted, and the nagging question, is this all there is? The permissive parent, whatever makes you happy. Meet 6-year-old Ethan. His days unfold according to his whims. Bedtime? Optional. Vegetables? Only if he feels like it. Screen time? Unlimited. His parents believe their role is to facilitate his happiness, not restrict it. They view rules as creativity killers and prioritize freedom above all else. When Ethan demands candy at checkout, they give in. When he refuses homework, they explain he's just not in the mood. When he interrupts adults, they marvel at his confidence. Ethan radiates self-assurance and creativity. But this freedom comes at a price. He crumbles when faced with disappointment. He struggles in group settings where sharing is non-negotiable. And he's developing a worldview where his immediate desires trump everything else. Permissive parenting is abundant in warmth but bankrupt in structure. These well-meaning parents provide endless emotional support while avoiding the discomfort of setting limits. Research reveals these children often struggle with self-regulation, respecting authority, and persisting through challenges. When life inevitably introduces boundaries, from classroom rules to workplace expectations, many find themselves psychologically unprepared. As adults, they may approach relationships expecting partners to bend to their needs. Work becomes frustrating when bosses enforce deadlines. And the concept of delayed gratification feels foreign in a childhood landscape where "no" was rarely heard. The authoritative parent, the golden balance. 10-year-old Amira's parents expect excellence, but provide the scaffolding to achieve it. She has clear responsibilities, helping prepare dinner, completing homework before recreation, practicing violin daily. But she also has voice and agency. Her parents listen to her perspective, explain the reasoning behind rules, and adjust expectations when valid concerns arise. When Amira neglects her chores, her parents don't shame or shout. They discuss why responsibilities matter and involve her in determining appropriate consequences. When she struggles with difficult homework, they sit beside her, not to provide answers, but to offer guidance until she reaches her own solution. This is authoritative parenting, high expectations married with equally high emotional support. Research consistently identifies this approach as creating the most positive outcomes across cultural contexts. Children raised authoritatively tend to develop strong internal motivation, better emotional regulation, higher social competence, improved problem-solving abilities, greater resilience when facing setbacks. What makes this style powerful is its fundamental respect for the child as a developing individual. Rules exist, but with explanations. Emotions are validated, but appropriate expression is taught. Independence is encouraged, but within a framework of guidance. Amira isn't just learning to succeed in a controlled environment. She's developing the psychological muscles needed to navigate life's inevitable complexities. She understands that boundaries aren't punishments, they're the foundation upon which true freedom is built. The neglectful parent, the invisible wound. 13-year-old Jay returns to an empty house each day. Not physically empty, his parents are sometimes there, but emotionally vacant. No one asks about his day. No one notices when his grades slip. No one celebrates his victories or comforts his defeats. He exists in an atmosphere of profound indifference. Neglectful parenting offers neither structure nor emotional connection. Children like Jay often turn to video games, social media, or high-risk peer groups to fill the void of adult attention. They're simultaneously over-independent in practical matters yet profoundly underdeveloped emotionally. The psychological impact is devastating. Chronic feelings of unworthiness, difficulty forming secure attachments, higher rates of depression and anxiety, increased risk-taking behaviors, problems with identity formation. It's important to recognize that neglectful parenting doesn't always stem from malice. Economic hardship, untreated mental illness, substance abuse, or overwhelming life circumstances can all contribute to parental disengagement. But the science is clear: children need attentive adults to develop healthy brains. When that attention is chronically absent, the psychological scaffolding for adulthood becomes fundamentally compromised. These children often grow into adults who struggle to recognize their own needs, set healthy boundaries, or believe they deserve care. The silence of neglect echoes through relationships, career choices, and parenting decisions for generations. The over-involved parent, love that suffocates. 15-year-old Sophia appears flawless on paper. Perfect grades. Multiple extracurricular achievements. Polite, articulate, and seemingly confident. Behind this facade, however, lurks crippling self-doubt. Her parents have micro-managed every aspect of her existence, selecting her friends, editing her school assignments, resolving her conflicts, and clearing every obstacle from her path. When faced with decisions without parental input, Sophia freezes. When encountering inevitable failure, she collapses. The psychological muscles needed for resilience have atrophied under her parents' well-intentioned but suffocating protection. Over-involved parents, sometimes labeled helicopter or snowplow parents, believe their intensive intervention guarantees their child's success. Yet research reveals these children often develop heightened anxiety and stress, difficulty making independent decisions, poor coping mechanisms when facing challenges, underdeveloped problem-solving skills, fragile self-esteem dependent on external validation. The painful paradox is that these parents love fiercely, perhaps too fiercely. Their desire to protect creates adults unprepared for a world that doesn't bend to accommodate their struggles. As psychologist Madeline Levine notes, overparenting is not about giving children too much attention. It's about giving them the wrong kinds of attention, finding your path forward. Most parents don't fit perfectly into a single category. We shift approaches depending on stress levels, circumstances, and the unique needs of each child. What matters isn't perfection, it's awareness and intention. Ask yourself, do my children know I love them unconditionally, separate from their achievements? Do I provide both empathy and appropriate boundaries? Am I helping develop skills for independence, even when it would be easier to do things myself? Do I allow natural consequences to teach valuable lessons? Am I present enough to notice what my child truly needs? Developmental psychologist Alison Gopnik offers a powerful metaphor. Think of being a parent not as being a carpenter, carving your child into a particular shape, but as being a gardener, creating a protected space where many different kinds of flowers can bloom. Your parenting style isn't destiny, it's a choice you make daily. Every interaction is an opportunity to adjust course, to balance structure with freedom, to show both strength and tenderness. Because ultimately, the question isn't just what kind of parent you are. It's what kind of human you're helping create, someone who will one day navigate this complex world without you by their side. The way you respond to that grocery store tantrum today? It's silently teaching lessons that will echo decades into your child's future. Choose wisely. So, what kind of parent are you raising your child to become? Before you go, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which parenting style did you grow up with, and how do you think it shaped who you are today? Have you found yourself shifting between different parenting styles depending on the situation? What triggers those shifts for you? Share a moment when you realized your parenting approach needed adjustment. What happened and what did you learn? If you found this valuable, hit subscribe for more insights on raising resilient, emotionally healthy children. Thanks for watching.